Good morning. Has anyone in your family ever doubted you? Have you ever felt like other people don't trust you? That no matter what you do, you struggle to prove yourself? I ask this because this was probably Peter's experience in today's gospel. If you noticed, Jesus asked Peter 3 times, "Do you love me?" And because of that, Peter was distressed. Perhaps he thought Jesus probably did not trust him. If he had the opportunity to ask Jesus, he would have asked him, "Why are you asking me 3 times? Don't you trust me? I am deeply offended by what you do." But was this really the intention of Jesus in asking Peter 3 times? Does this mean that Jesus did not trust Peter, which is why he made sure to ask him repeatedly? Absolutely not. In fact, many Bible scholars would say that the reason Jesus asked Peter 3 times is because Jesus wanted to address Peter's 3 denials in the garden before his crucifixion. By asking Peter 3 times, Jesus offers Peter 3 separate opportunities to confess his love and loyalty to Jesus and to restore his role as a leader in the first Christian community. However, there is another important detail in the gospel that would help us understand why Jesus asked Peter repeatedly. According to some biblical scholars, Jesus asked Peter 3 times because Peter's response did not match Jesus' question. If we read the original Greek text, the Greek word Jesus used when he asked Peter about love is agape, which means unconditional love. So Jesus' question to Peter is this: "Do you love me unconditionally?" However, Peter's response was different because the Greek word Peter used for love is not agape, but phileo, which means filial love or the love of a friend. Do you see the difference? Here, Jesus was asking Peter to love him unconditionally, but Peter replied that he could only love Jesus as a friend. So the conversation between Jesus and Peter goes like this: "Peter, do you love me unconditionally?" Peter replied, "Lord, I love you as a friend." Then Jesus repeated the question, "Do you love me unconditionally?" Peter gave the same answer, "Lord, I love you as a friend." At that moment, Jesus realized that Peter was still struggling to love him unconditionally. That is why, in his 3rd question, Jesus uses the word phileo instead of agape. So this time, Jesus asked Peter, "Do you love me as a friend?" Peter replied, "Yes, Lord, I love you as a friend." In this conversation, we realize that at that moment, Peter was not yet ready to give his unconditional love for Jesus. But despite this, Jesus continued to believe in him. In fact, Jesus entrusted him with the care of his flock, hoping that one day he would be able to love Jesus unconditionally. And Jesus was not disappointed, because even though Peter did not say he loved Jesus unconditionally, his life became a concrete proof of his unconditional love for Jesus. As we all know, Peter proclaimed Jesus boldly and fearlessly. He preached the gospel despite the danger of being persecuted. Peter may not have understood the question of Jesus, but we know that he loved Jesus deeply by dying for him. Brothers and sisters, like Peter, Jesus also asked us the same question. Do you love me unconditionally? Are you willing to die for me? Perhaps many of us will respond like Peter. Lord, this time I can only love you as a friend. I am not yet ready to love you unconditionally. Just so you know, Jesus is not disappointed. In fact, even if our love for him is insufficient, his love for us remains unconditional. But he hopes that, like Peter, we too may one day profess our unconditional love for Jesus, not with words, but with deeds. Amen.